bad they the shelves run out of toilet paper just faster than anything else. Oh well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been helping out. We have like in my neighborhood. There's a little charity organization, and we I signed up to deliver food or deliver things for shut-ins. You know, people that shouldn't be out.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
going to the grocery store is a whole different endeavor now. And I have these lists of things, and there's just some things that you can't find, like hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol and peroxide,
Yeah.
and toilet paper, sometimes paper towels. So
Yeah.
we've been figuring out when the stores get their deliveries, when certain stores get their deliveries and showing up, and sometimes they don't even have the stuff on the trucks, but a lot of this stuff they will. But it's like people in our country have never in my lifetime experienced shortages of things. And
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, it it looks like it is going to get worse. Like, I think meat prices are going to go up, and you know dairy may, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure how
Yeah.
this.
We'll see. I think we're going to see things change, and that's the deal. And I think we can muddle on into it. We can. The main thing I think they need to do is get some sort of a some sort of a vaccination, some sort of thing against this thing to slow it down or something like that. And then, the economy is probably going to be in the toilet for years. You know.
Yeah, and
you
that's the
know.
thing. I mean, that's really what the debate is right now. It's like, okay, people are going to die from this virus, and then people are going to die from overdoses and suicides because they lost their jobs. And so,
Yeah.
it's like that's the balance. Like, well, when do you let people go back to work? Who is really the most affected by this virus? It's all, a lot of people saying a lot of different things, and they better get it figured out.
Well, that's the thing right now. It's up in the air, and people are throwing around their opinions and stuff, and that's the point. And so it's this is pretty new kind of thing. Well, we've had downturns before, but not quite like this. The Great Depression, that went on for like what 15 years or so. But that wasn't a disease. That was a failure of the economy. And people were out of work, and homelessness, and all kinds of stuff went on for a lot of years. Like I said, it was like 12 years or so. Second World War kind of pulled us out of that one. You know.
Yeah.
Second World War, everybody went to work. Or off to war.
Yeah.
But and then FDR started helping out when the Fed started doing work programs and things. Helping get back. But that wasn't like this. The thing is, this is like the plague. But the deal about it is, we'll find out because I don't know how they're saying it, but let's put it this way: there's the most vulnerable are elderly and maybe very young. I don't know, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of people going to get it, and nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to they're just
That
going to plow right on through.
well, that
And they're
seems
going
to
to be
be,
immune.
yeah, that seems to
Yeah.
be the case. I mean, the shutting down and sheltering in place was all based on lack of information because we didn't know anything, and so it's better safe than sorry,
Yeah.
which is always the right thing. Overreacting is the only way to guarantee, or at least to safeguard against the worst case
Yeah.
scenario. So, and then a lot
Yeah.
of the models that were used turned out not to really be accurate. And now it's like, okay, who's really affected? People with pre existing conditions, the elderly, and they're realizing a lot more people have it than they knew, which means
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't affected at all. And so, like,
Right.
the herd immunity thing seems to be like it's going to happen. Most of us are going to get
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah.
we're still going to have to change the way we live, especially around people. For example, like, the
Yeah.
schools are shut down, my kids are home, but they will open schools again eventually, but what will they have to do? Any teachers that are elderly can't go back to work, right?
Yeah,
That's just one of the ways that the culture is going to change until the vaccine is in place, or I don't even know.
yeah,
They don't even know if a vaccine is going to work, but they have to, it's going to take a while to figure that out.
sure. And that's this is the way things always happen. I mean, all through our human history, this just happens to be the first time we really run into it. Like who knows before? Well, heck, I just watched again the other day and the band played on. The one with Becky Bodine and all that stuff about the AIDS thing.
Oh,
How it was how long it took for anybody to recognize this this how widespread it was.
mm-hmm.
It was ignored, but it was ignored because everybody says, "Oh, that's gay disease," but
Right.
it was absolutely ignored by everybody, and the government wasn't even. What did it say? It wasn't until Reagan didn't say a damn thing about it until his second term, and after so many thousands of people had died, it was ignored. But now this one ain't being ignored.
Right.
But yeah, that's the deal. I mean, what the heck? We were kids. It was polio.
Right.
That's what we were in trouble with. An awful lot of people got that, because there wasn't anything against it.
Right.
And the whole thing was about infantile paralysis, it's called. Because kids got it basically.
Yeah.
And the deal was, it was like they recommended, just during summer especially, I guess, to not even go to movies or not anything, kids. So it was, and parents were real worried because, they didn't do like you're doing now, keeping the kids at home. They let us go. They says, hey, we just hope. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And we just a lot of hope. Because, and then you think of all the other diseases that they're down as vaccinations for. People, hey, let's face it, let's face it, back 100 years ago, I mean, if you made it to 6 years old, you had a pretty good chance of making it to 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
made it to 10, if you made it to 10, then you had a pretty good chance of making it maybe to 20. This thing, because there's all kinds of things to kill you.
Yeah.
And just
Yep.
we've gotten used to being so damn healthy until we're well into our 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
All because of modern science and medicine, and there's still things that are something. And that's the thing, things modify. As and that's what this is. This is a new modification of the thing. That's
Yeah.
the way it